What's up, guys? This is video number one. Sitting here outside of the LA Fitness. I don't know, man. I don't know where to start. I have no idea where to start, man. Hold on one sec. Let me at least roll this side up a little bit while I'm recording. But yeah, I follow a channel called Legion of Men by a guy named Bo of Rec. One of his channels. Bo, I guess, would be his name. I don't know him personally, but he basically said an idea, just get on here and tell other people about what's going on with you, regardless of how successful that is. People might listen to you, people might relate. So here's me giving throwing my hat in the ring, so to speak. Let me shave, whatever. Fucking homeless, so that's what it is. I'm sitting here outside the LA Fitness, just thinking to myself, man, where did it all go? What happened? What happened? And just some weird little glow on the screen there. Okay. I was honestly, what happened? I worked in a military psych hospital for 10 years. And I just look at the world now and I'm like, why the hell did I sacrifice all those years? All those broken bones. I've got 8 broken bones and a torn ligament in my left ankle. It's the Nomoran ligament. It's attached to the Achilles, partially tore a code. So that was my life. I was a security nurse. I wasn't an RN. I worked for the RN and doctors, but I was the guy that got down. I fought. I made sure the place stayed safe for 10 years. Code green, code blue, whatever one. And I look at the policy changes. I was on the front lines during COVID. I don't know if you can say that word anymore. During the pandemic, schmovid, whatever. And watching the world change right in front of you was just so interesting. Obviously I've got many stories of the psych ward. I wasn't just a person that went and clocked in and sat there and barely did my job. Like, the place that I worked for was for profit, so you're always understaffed and you're always put in a situation where it's your ass or their ass, or it's never really a clean cut situation. And as the years went on and the people changed, the customers changed, the staff changed, really what I think happened is a lot of the patients from the beginning of my career ended up going into nursing. So that kind of changed the field a lot. That's just an observation that I've had, just seeing old patients as nurses and stuff. So, which is good, if you find yourself in a spot in life and you don't want to be there, and you do the work to get up out of that place, then kudos to you. I don't worry about that. But that had a big impact on the space as a whole. But I'm just ranting about it now. Really just putting this out. But as a man in California now, it is tough, dude. It's tough. I work full time and I'm living in my car. Now, I don't make a great wage anymore. Since I left the hospital, I've gone down $8 in pay. So from almost $30 an hour to just over 20. So, but I am grateful to have a job. I have a job. It's not minimum wage. It's over minimum wage. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for that. That I'm able to feed myself and the family that's with me. I'm in my car with my nephew and my dog. So it's not a great circumstance. But I'm making my moves. I'm saving money up, and I think I'm gonna buy a trailer hitch to the back of my SUV here, and then buy a travel trailer. So I think that's the next step. I think next month hopefully I'll be able to put those videos up and show you guys the trailer and stuff. I'm pretty close to having the amount I need for I think a decent one, like a 26 footer. I think is what I'm going for, something around there. Just a bed in the back and a couch in the front, or maybe one of those bench seats beds. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So, but yeah, I don't have very many options, you know. Working towards any kind of, like, having a full-time job and not being able to see any kind of future is definitely a problem, man. Like, I mean, I see a future, but it's like nothing like I imagined. I'm gonna be leaving my 2-bedroom, 1-bed apartment. Well, I've been homeless 6 months now, but you know, I leave my apartment because it was sorry, try not to cuss so much. It was freaking $2,600 a month just to be in the apartment. That's base. And then you're talking about, you know, phone bill, food bill, and then I have an autistic nephew, his mother, and a dog. So it's like I've just avalanched in life. And, you know, before anyone really says anything, no, I do not have to take care of them. Not by normal standards. Like, most people would have taken off a long time ago. But I made a choice when my nephew was 5, he's now 22, that, you know, there wasn't going to be a man in his life, there wasn't going to be anyone to teach him how to do anything if he ever got there, you know, being autistic. And I didn't want him to be in the foster system. I didn't, working 10 years in a psych hospital, dealing with all the populations, adolescents, all the way up to geriatrics. And you'll see through my videos a lot of stories of that, but just being in that world, I knew that I didn't want to relegate him to that life. It wouldn't be good for him. He would have been taken advantage of. And I mean, you'd like to think it wouldn't be like that, but after all the stories I've heard and how much people have been used and abused and thrown away, and you'll see if you follow the channel here, a lot of the stories that I'll talk about. I've got 10 years, lots of stories. Lots of stuff to talk about. But how the hell was I ever going to keep that apartment? Even when I was making almost 30 an hour, I had to have overtime just to pay for everything. Like, when the pandemic happened, patients stopped coming to the hospital. So it was like only certain staff could work. Your hours got lower. You didn't have any overtime. So that was the first time when I was in the middle of my career where I felt like, damn, this is expensive now. Like, damn, I'm getting crunched. And then you add the last few years, the price hikes. My rent went from $15.29 to 24 something base, and then it was like water, electricity, so it was like 26 something a month base. And then let's just not even think if you're late or any of that stuff. It is nuts. So I'm sitting there forking out over $4,000 a month just to exist. I don't even make that a month. I'm here borrowing money and moving stuff around and putting bills off, and it was just like, I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of rolling over bills because I can't pay for it till next check, and then there's a bill that's over there, so I gotta roll that one, and it's like, man, I hate it. So now I'm in this part of life where it's like, I'm homeless, I'm working full time, and I'm living in my car with my nephew and dog. I ended up buying a car for my sister, so now she can be. So I'm just little by little trying to get myself out of this mud, but it just seems so hopeless. Like, no matter how hard I work, and I have a good job, I work in healthcare. You know, I serve people, I serve humanity, I do something for the good and benefit of others every day. Every day I think about saving lives. I can't get my mind off it. So it's leading me to possibly open a business and do this and just start all these different things, because I have a lot to say, for one. A lot of people talk to. My hair's trash, but you know, I got to clean myself up a lot. I'm 6'3", 350, 340, so I'm overweight, but I'm like, I carry it well. I've always been athletic, more like a linebacker. It's kind of, you know, I'm fast, I'm agile, smart. So I have a lot to offer. I know that. And that's not me like, ooh, pride or no, it's just like I know what tools I'm working with, and I know that I can do a lot of good still. So I don't know, man. Maybe you guys can drop some comments, let me know about your life, how you're feeling, what you're struggling with. Because, dude, I mean, I'm over here in California, but I don't think it really matters where. I think if you're in the West, you're struggling, dude. So I'm gonna get my tush up here in this gym and start holding myself accountable, getting rid of some of these bad habits I have, and, you know, get rid of the procrastination. Just start really doing step by step what I gotta do, because if I don't start now, then I'm dead in the water. And I don't know, let me guys know what you think, man. Like, how's it going for you? You know, maybe some of you guys have a great life, and well, power to you, buddy. But if you're like me and you're struggling, damn, let me know. What's up? Let's talk. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification. I got a lot of stuff coming, so I think I'm just gonna be uploading like this every day. No edits, just talking, man. So come talk to your boy. Deuces.